copyrights to any of the songs in this video. Happy Thanksgiving. My voice is still a little bit raspy, but I'm here. I'm alive and I'm well. And that is a blessing. That is a blessing. I'm up early. I just put my ham in the oven before leaving the house. I'm out here with my son right now, going to pick up a car so he could go and head out to see his baby girl. Yes, spending Thanksgiving with his daughter today, so that's about a 5-hour drive. Ooh, 6-hour drive, so you get there about what, 1? 4? Oh man, no. Oh yeah, you won't get there until 4. Happy Thanksgiving. It is so much to be grateful for, but I just wish that we would stop using one day to show gratitude. I asked God last night as I was laying in the bed, am I complaining? I had to ask him, am I complaining? And I knew why I was saying it. Although we don't have what we want all the time, we have what we need. And sometimes what we need is still not good enough for us. We find a way to still complain, and I found myself doing that, and I had to ask God, am I complaining too much? Is it wrong for me to... Bob, why are you so close on the car until it's beeping?
I'm gonna turn it.
Yeah, but gracious, peace, man. So yeah, we want this, we want that, and I'm like, okay, well, God, is it wrong for me to want something that I already have, but I just know it could be better? I know I could be better. And so that's the question I asked him. See, that's a problem right there, Bob. You, Jesus Christ. You gotta remember what line of work you're in, and you gotta be very careful. Okay, now, you can hear it. You don't have to look at it. You can hear it. And then when you hold your head down, you hold your head down so long. I look at you sometimes and I'm like, well, when is he gonna put his head back up and look at the road? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So anyway, yeah, I'm so grateful. I am grateful that I'm not in the kitchen doing a whole lot of cooking today. I could actually chill out. The only thing I have to do is the ham, and that made me a little bit irritated because I had already had the sauce and everything poured over the ham, and I smelled something burning in the kitchen. Just bought the pan yesterday and it had holes in it, so I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I have to redo that when I get to the house. And then I'm doing some red rice. We're having, I believe, red rice, dirty rice, yellow rice, regular stuffing, seafood dressing, salads, ham, turkey, desserts. I wouldn't probably want any of that food, macaroni and cheese. I probably wouldn't want any of that food tomorrow. So I am grateful. One of the things that I am grateful for, I started thinking this morning, and I am grateful because my husband could not be here today. He could literally, I could be grieving my husband today, or I could be sitting up in the hospital with him on today, but God blessed him. Although he's not where he wants to be just yet, but he's getting there. He's definitely getting there. So I'm grateful for that. When I think about my son, I thought about him also. I'm grateful for his life because he could literally be gone today. Literally be gone. So during this season, particularly when you're traveling, please make sure that you pray for your family members when they're out on the road, especially if they're going to be going through little small towns. Pray, pray for them. Can I share this without mentioning your name?
I'm scared to know the thing about to say it.
So my son is a truck driver, and one of his loads, he took this back route into this little small town. And this happened a few days ago, literally. But he took this route into this little small town. He said he was going about you said 4? He was going 4 miles over the speed limit. And an officer stopped him. And I believe he told him he was going 4 miles over. And my son was like, well, I'm only the city. That's what he said, right? This is not the big. Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. He said this is not the big city. And y'all know, if y'all have watched any movie, especially a movie pertaining to any type of racism, you watch those movies and you see an African American driving through a town or something, one of the things that the officer would say, you're not in the big city. And that's exactly what he said to my son. So he knew exactly what he was talking about. And he told him, if I ever see you back through here again, I'll make sure that you lose your license. For driving 4 miles over the speed limit. So make sure that during this time of the year that you're praying and you're staying prayed at anytime you get in your car. Anytime you get in your car. You've got to stay prayed at. So I'm just grateful. I don't know if that was the morning that the Lord woke me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I just interceded for a quick second. It could have been that day, or it could have been any morning where I've gotten up and I prayed. Now when I get up in the mornings, I'm like, good morning, Jesus. Good morning, Holy Spirit. What would you have me to do on today? Because I am by far perfect. I make a lot of mistakes, but I am certainly trying. So I am just grateful that my son is well. I am grateful that my husband is well. I know that the things that I've been going through, it's been challenging. The last few weeks have been extremely challenging. And sometimes I felt like I wanted to just scream out. There were many times I felt like I wanted to just holler out and say, Lord, help me. And then I regroup and I'll start all over again. But I am just so grateful. I shared this story, and I don't even know if I shared it with my YouTube family. But my husband was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And I had a dream. I literally had a dream that my grandson had cancer. I had a dream he had cancer. And I'm like, Lord, are you trying to show me something? And I just, I prayed about it, but I didn't pay it a whole lot of attention at that moment. But I happened to look at my husband one day and I said, man, his neck looks fat. I looked at it I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it then. And we both, some days it looked like it was swollen, other days it looked like it was going down. He had an ice pack. I'm trying to get away from the glare. He had an ice pack that he would put on it. And I declare sometimes it appeared like it went down. And then we both had a cold. He caught a cold from me. We both had a cold, and I realized his voice was really raspy. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's just from the cold. But I kid you not, every single time that I looked at his neck and saw it swollen, God took me back to that dream. I mean, it was like he just would not let me rest on that dream. And dreams are not something that I always think about. But he would not let me rest on that dream. So it was the goodness of God that I finally said, you got to go. You got to go. The nurse looked at my husband in his eyes twice and told him, your wife saved your life. Because it was pretty bad. So it's only by the goodness of God that my husband is well right now. And I thank God for that. Because I could be grieving today, but God said no. So when you're dreaming, just don't shrug it off and ignore it. You got to do something about it. You got to pray about it. You have to fast about it. But don't ignore it. And I just thank God that I did not ignore that dream. So today, what are y'all doing today? Today, my family rented an Airbnb, and this is a potluck Thanksgiving where no one person is in the kitchen doing all of the cooking. So all I had to do was the ham and the red rice. Now my daughter came down from Greenville, and she had the audacity to ask me if I'll do the stuffing. Have y'all ever had stuffing with apples in it? I dice up apples. Y'all, my voice is raspy. Allergies has been trying me for the last few days. But I had Jimmy Dean ground pork sausage. I cooked that down. I baked my cornbread. I used the stovetop stuffing dressing, the seasoning. I cut it open at the bottom where all the seasoning is. It's the stovetop stuffing savory. So I cut from the bottom so I could empty all of the seasonings into my cornbread mix. I had the Jimmy Dean sausage, the apples, hard-boiled eggs. What else? Sometimes I'll get the gravy from off of the turkey, or I'll buy the cran gravy. And boy, let me tell you something. I've been baking this like this for the last maybe 5 years or more now. I got the recipe off of the Food Network. So she said, well, I said, I'll buy the stuff if you cook it. So I guess tomorrow, what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to bake a small ham to have at home. I may do a small macaroni and cheese because I don't want to pile up and take a lot of food from the house where we're going to. So I'm just going to cook something really simple at the house because she's going to be with me until Sunday, I believe. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm just enjoying this day with family. So what y'all doing? What are y'all doing? So that's why you haven't seen me for a while going live. Sometimes I have a minute to jump on, but for the most part, I've been working my full-time job and then making sure that my husband is straight. But because he's such an independent person, he has helped me out tremendously. He's a strong person, so, you know, he's doing his thing now. He's doing his thing. You like that song? Man, listen. I was on, yeah, that's the song right there. So I'm heading on over to my other page to tell my Facebook family what's up. Happy Thanksgiving. And then I think we may come back on live a little bit later so you can meet the family. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great morning. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Talk to you later.